Pluribus finale just dropped and it was so good, it asked one brutal question: do you save the world or get the girl? So let's dive in. Spoilers ahead, if you haven't watched the Pluribus finale, bookmark and come back. The episode starts with a cold open of the girl from Peru, Kusimayu, who is finally getting her wish to join the Hive. The Hive has figured out how to do this as long as they have your stem cells, so time is ticking for Carol. Back in Albuquerque, we finally get the long-awaited meeting between Carol and Manusos. He is extremely paranoid in a way that's making him seem like a crazy conspiracy theorist to Carol, and is just generally impolite. He doesn't want to talk in her house because he thinks it's bugged, and 2 minutes into meeting her, he grabs her phone from her hand and throws it down the drain. So Carol is just fed up with him from the start, and I think she's even more annoyed than usual because he's interrupting her Zosha time. We learn that Carol and Manusos have a fundamental difference in how they view the Hive. He does not see them as human and thinks that if they can't fix them, they're better off dead, which is very concerning for Carol. She thinks they're weird, but still human and generally harmless. There's an interesting role reversal here. Carol tells him that he should talk to the Hive and learn something, which sounds very similar to what Lakshmi told Carol back in episode 2. Carol's relationship with Zosha has put her in a place where she can better understand the other survivors and why Lakshmi is so desperate to see her son as her son, the same way Carol wants to see Zosha as an individual. While Manusos is being the worst house guest ever and searching for bugs, he finds a sensor on the inside of Carol's liquor cabinet that Helen put there to monitor how much she was drinking during the time Carol froze her eggs. It's a blow to Carol that she wasn't 100% trusted in her relationship and maybe didn't live up to who she wanted to be. Maybe this is why they never had kids and Carol never knew the reason. At night, Carol finds Manusos is talking with Zosha to get answers out of her, and Carol gets very protective and possessive of Zosha, immediately dragging her out. I think Carol is scared on her behalf because Manusos walks around with a machete and doesn't view them as human, so she doesn't know what he'll do to her. Zosha doesn't get into specifics, but she says she told him everything. And this is where Carol is smacked in the face with the reality that she is not getting special treatment in her relationship. They are just as honest with Manusos as they are with her, and they love Manusos the same as her. And Carol can't handle that. She wants Zosha's love to be exclusive and special, just like Helen's was, but it's not. Even though Zosha's her chaperone, her love's not only for her. A core question of this show is, what does it mean to be loved uniquely versus because everyone loves you, and is that kind of love less valid? Then Manusos takes things to a violent level when he intentionally causes 2 worldwide seizures to test if the radio signals change. He genuinely doesn't care how many people he might have killed doing this. For him, the ends justify the means, and that will be a problem if he and Carol work together. She was torn up with guilt when she accidentally did this. This is the breaking point for the Hive. They have to leave him the same way they left Carol. We get the title question from Manusos: do you want to save the world or get the girl? And Carol chooses the girl. I think she would have made this choice either way, but I think Manusos' violent approach made the choice easier. She lives her best life, traveling the world with Zosha, but it all comes crumbling down on their ski trip. Carol asks if real Zosha had a partner before the virus. Zosha says yes, but they must have died before the joining because they're not part of the Hive. That's all the info we get, but Carol remarks that she's just not good at feeling good. And yet, she still says she's the happiest she's ever been with Zosha. And that's when Zosha pushes too far and says it only gets better, and Carol realizes she's talking about the joining. As a perpetually unhappy person, the Hive wanted to make Carol so happy that she wanted more. And through questioning, Carol realizes they have an alternate way to get her stem cells through the eggs she froze with Helen. Carolina's performance is so incredible in this scene. Her change in expression as she realizes she miscalculated and is trying to be evasive without giving away how nervous she is so impressive. Carol feels hurt, betrayed, and deeply sad. The show dives into this central question of what love is. Carol says, if you loved me, you wouldn't do this. She wants to be an exception. She's looking for confirmation that their relationship is unique and special in any way. But Zosha says we have to do this because we love you, because I love you. And we're meant to ask, how real is this? Is there any individuality poking through? Is it real love if it's not exclusive and she's being driven to feel that way because of the virus? Does it matter if the effect is the same? These are the bigger philosophical questions. But Carol wants to be loved uniquely. She wants to be happy as herself. She will never willingly join despite her feelings for Zosha. Her last look to Zosha in the helicopter when she brings her home is filled with pain, sadness, and longing. There is so much going on in this one shot. Carol doesn't want to say goodbye, but has to. And Zosha almost looks guilty. As she flies away, Carol gives this sigh like, how could I be so stupid? She wasted time. Now she only has a month before the Hive figures out how to do this. She tells Manusos, you win, we save the world. You can see this whole season as an origin story for Carol, where she's finally in the place she needs to be to actually save the world. She had to work through grief, go through experiences to better understand the other side's perspective, but still come to this realization that it's a bit of a fantasy to get wrapped up in what the Hive offers. And now the real work can begin with Manusos. And we end the episode on the funny punchline that Carol now has an atom bomb. This was a great season. I love talking about this show every week. I am so sad it's over. I'm excited to see Carol and Manusos as an unlikely duo next season, but my biggest hope is that they can can still weave in Zosha in a satisfying way, because I have fallen in love with her character the same way Carol has. Let me know your thoughts, what you want to see from season 2, and let me know if there's any 2026 shows you want me to cover. And give me a follow for lots of other TV recaps and content.